Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
That's right. We are back.
We are.
It is episode 63. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thanks for tuning in to Fringe Fanatics as always. We appreciate it greatly.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Indeed. And as we have been doing in these most recent episodes, episode 63 is going to be dedicated to Mr. Gene Upshaw.
The legendary Gene Upshaw.
Yeah. Well, to give us a little rundown on it.
Yeah, so I had to kind of be reminded of it because I know I've heard the name before, and that's because I'm a little young buck when it comes to the NFL.
Yeah.
He was around back in the day, and he did a lot of good things for the NFL.
Back in the day cafe, if you will.
That's right. He was a guard, the first offensive guard to be selected to the Hall of Fame. Played 14 seasons, I believe, with the Raiders. Hell of an offensive guard, but to me, what makes him really significant is what he did after his career, where he served as the executive director for the NFLPA for 25 years. And to many, what I've heard is he's considered one of the GOATs, if you will, when it comes to establishing rights and services, basically, for the players after they retire. He led the NFLPA to many firsts, including a 401k program, a player annuity plan, health reimbursement accounts. That's a big word.
Yeah, annuity.
Yeah, health reimbursement accounts for vested players, and a league-wide incentive pay system known as performance-based pay, among others. He also established NFL Players, Inc., which now generates tens of millions in group licensing revenue for the players each year.
Yeah, and like you said, 25 years. He was the NFLPA director from 1983 to 2009, along with all of those things Chad just mentioned, which was a lot of good rights and stuff for the players and whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of people also say he basically helped define the modern NFL era, so to speak. And before taking on his role in the NFLPA, he did have a 15-season Hall of Fame career. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro player, and he won the AFL championship and 2 Super Bowls over the course of his career. So
with the Raiders.
The Raiders. Yep. So one hell of a career and one hell of a career after football, basically making football into what it is that we watch today. So
yeah, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't see commercials with Peyton Manning for Allstate, Patrick Mahomes, State Farm.
Yeah,
he made the NFL pretty much marketable.
Yeah, definitely. So
so
big ups to Gene. Shots
cheers
to Gene.
To you,
cheers
Gene
to
Upshaw.
you. Rest in peace. And thanks for all you've done and giving us shit to talk about every Tuesday.
Damn right, man. Each week we're learning and we're teaching.
We're learning and we're teaching the folks. Cheers to you, Chad Lee. Cheers to each and every one of you out there.
Cheers.
Drink them down.
Oh, that's going down good tonight. That's scary.
It was better the last time for sure.
Tomorrow's my Friday, so I'm kind of like feeling like it's a Thursday. I always drink on Thursday nights, so yeah.
You're going to make people think you have a problem.
Well,
he might. So how was your weekend, sir?
The weekend was okay. It was a lot of just packing, a lot of boring shit. I think we've mentioned before that we are having to move, and it is coming around next week. Thankfully, we have you, my guardian angel, that helps me move every couple months.
Every time Chad moves, I'm there to help. So
every 6 months it feels like, but nah, not really. You're gonna help out a lot, and I appreciate it. But yeah, last weekend we just did a lot of packing, and then we went to Don's on Sunday night, which was a really big letdown. I know, it was really sad driving away. But we did, on a high note, go to Zane's. Kind of ironic it is your name.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys should go there just for the ironic part of it.
Yeah.
But it was amazing, man. Yeah, we even went to Don's on Sunday. One of my friends was like, dude,
Zane's was the Italian food place you went to, right?
Yeah. Fucking amazing, dude. I had lobster ravioli.
Would you say it was insane?
That I would definitely say it's Chef Kit's insane.
Magnifique.
Oh, it's fantastic, man.
Grazie.
They have this weird thing there too. I had to take a Snapchat to send to my mom because I thought she would dig it, but it was wild. Where they really like nutcrackers. in the waiting room where you wait, I think there's maybe like 50 to 60 nutcrackers around. Like,
Yeah.
they really like Christmas, so it was kind of entertaining. But yeah, really good food. If you haven't ever gone to Zane's in DTC, totally worth it.
Yeah, go check it out for show. Big shout out to Zane's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How was the show, man?
It was good, man. We played on top of some bowling lanes.
I saw that.
Which was exciting.
Dude,
yeah,
it
we
looked
had
like a
people
music
bowling
video,
by
man.
us. It did kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw. I think Andrew made a reel for it, so I was like, "Damn, you guys should turn that into a music video."
Yeah, it would be cool to go film a music video.
I think
there.
it would be, man.
Yeah,
Alley
so,
Cats.
Yeah, definitely.
You ever see that Disney Plus movie?
I don't think I have.
Not Disney Plus. It was a Disney original movie back in the day when we were
the
teenagers.
Alley Cats. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't think I did see that one ever.
You're missing out.
Damn it.
Well, did you guys have a good turnout?
Yeah, it was a decent turnout. We we rocked. Patient Zeros were good. They opened up the show. They're actually going to be our music guest this month, so we'll be talking about the Patient Zeros a little bit later. And the Missing as well. They did pretty damn good, man. It was a pretty good show overall. But Saturday, I fucking crashed hard, dude. I slept a good chunk of the day. I don't know why. I was just fucking exhausted for some reason.
Yeah, I don't blame
It
you,
happened.
man.
And I got a chunk of work done on the car, but it's not done yet.
Oh, that's cool. Did
I
you
had
get
to
the right
battle.
parts for it?
Yeah, I got the right
Nice.
parts, but I had to battle with a piece that didn't want to come out.
Yeah,
that
that's annoying.
kind of broke, and even in the video I watched, the guy's like, "It's probably gonna break because they made it out of plastic."
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Yeah, well, it broke," and then it was a
Fuck.
pain in the ass to get out. But thankfully, it came out all in one piece in the video. Like this much broke. It was still inside, like the motor, because it's like where the oil drains out of the turbo back into the drain pan.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so it all came out in one piece, so that was exciting. But then I had to go to fucking Lowe's and get some nuts so I could get one of the studs for the god damn it, the header, because
Okay.
it came out with the bolt. So I had to get the bolt head off and the stud separated. So I had to get like two nuts and put them together, and then like kind of like cinch them together, and then backing out. It was a pain.
You
in the
need to
ass,
stop.
so-
You're just talking dirty to me.
I know.
Wow.
Are you aroused
Cinching
now?
all these nuts over
Cinching.
here.
Are
You gotta
your nuts cinched
back
right
it down
now?
a
How
little bit, all
cinched
right?
are they?
Just keep twisting, all right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good, man.
yeah, and then Sunday watched some football. The Broncos I thought were gonna win, and then they didn't win, and then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
a
know what?
heartbreaker, man.
Yeah, both our teams lost.
Yeah, we're actually in the same boat.
Yeah, we played each other in fantasy, and you bested me. We both had one of the worst weeks
I know.
of our year this year in
Thankfully, Joe
fantasy.
Mixon
So
saved
yeah,
me.
Joe Mixon, you son of a bitch.
Yep, I thought you were gonna get me, man.
I did. I was like, dude, McManus is gonna fucking give me 25 points.
Just nothing but field goals.
Yeah. So and then that's about it, man.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
here we are.
Yep, we're back
It's
at it.
Tuesday, yeah.
63, rolling along. We're gonna call
69.
Beal up.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 69. I can't wait till we do that episode. Might have to do Gronkowski for that one.
I'm gonna find some sweet like porn music to get for the intro.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Episode 69.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's get into some headlines. We're gonna cover a little NFL.
Yeah. Let's do it right now.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
That's right. It is time for headlines, and we're gonna get started with the NFL. Let's go with this
You
one.
need the ball.
Get me the ball.
Get you the ball.
Are you gonna give me the ball?
I'll get you the
I hope he doesn't kill
I always
someone.
forget how long this one is.
Yeah.
You gotta have the build up though.
Yeah. Gets you ready.
Get the ball.
Little man has entered the building.
What's up, little buddy?
Yeah, we might need to turn that one down a little bit. That's coming in hot. Yeah, you can feel it in your bones. So yes,
pumped up.
yeah, it is time for the NFL headlines.
And it's
but-
the bummer NFL news
Yeah.
with the injuries.
Yeah, wah, wah, wah.
I mean, there's people out there that, they're just casual fantasy players, fantasy team owners. So,
Yeah.
like, maybe they listen to us and they're like, oh, shit, damn, Christian Watson did get hurt. Maybe I should check in on him.
Yeah, we're giving you guys the tidbits to use to get yourself ahead in fantasy, because we all know that's what the most important thing in life is fantasy football.
It's what moves.
It makes the world go round.
Yeah, NFL, that's for sure. And I am sitting at first place. So
yeah, so look at you
keep that going.
go. Look at you go.
Well, let's start off on the defensive side of the ball. The Falcons lost their best defensive back, A.J. Terrell. He had a concussion. Don't know if he's still in protocol or not, but I'm sure we'll be checking in soon.
Yeah, like we
It's
always
kind
say,
of a bummer.
it's tough because usually by Wednesday is when you're going to figure out where they're at in terms of if they're going to play or not. Also in that game, offensive tackle Caleb McGarry got an MCL sprain. He may miss some time. They're thinking probably this next week for sure, but they don't know if it's going to be longer than that. So bummer for Atlanta for sure.
Yep.
But let's move on to, we'll get to the one from last night. We were just talking about the Jaguars.
Another QB goes down.
Yep, Trevor Lawrence with a pretty gnarly ankle sprain where he actually ended up sitting on his own foot at one point.
Yeah, because of an offensive tackle that came
Yeah.
around and he stepped on it.
Tweaked his
And-
ankle,
yeah.
and then next thing you know, you're sitting on your own foot.
Yeah.
So the high ankle sprain, they said like all the x-rays came back negative, but it does sound like he may be missing at least this next week. But
Yeah, I
they're
would
gonna
imagine so.
check back in. So
Yeah. Let's see. Packers, Christian Watson, hamstring. Looked pretty bad. It was a non-contact one. Just went straight to the ground, grabbing out his
sniper.
hamstring.
a damn sniper got him.
Yep, sitting up in the stands, just picking people off.
Pew 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 pew.
In that game as well, on the Chiefs side of the ball, Drew Tranquil, right on the first defensive series, I believe it was, took a knee to the side of the head by A.J. Dillon, dude.
Was he out cold?
He wasn't
his
out
hands do the
cold.
thing?
It took him a while. He was laying on the ground like he was dead for a minute, though. But, dude, if anybody out there has seen the size of legs, the tree trunk legs that A.J. Dillon has, and imagine taking a knee from it, I'm surprised Drew Tranquil's alive.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see those guys take knees to the side of the head, you're like, that looked like it really hurt.
Oh, man. Even with the helmet on, dude, it would
Yeah.
fucking hurt.
Yeah, definitely. So did you get all of the Chiefs
I was going to
ones?
say,
okay, we
the
got
other
a couple
bummer
more.
one was Brian Cook that looked like he twisted his ankle off.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, shockingly, he did not break it. So I'm sure it's a very badly sprained one. I wouldn't doubt it if there's possibly ligaments torn. I have yet to hear an update, but all I know is it's not broken.
Yeah, when you sent me the picture, or you showed me it, you either showed me or sent it to me, one of the two. I just wrote down, I was like, he's probably done for the season.
Yeah.
And then we talked today, and you're like, no, he's good.
It
somehow.
was yesterday I found out that the news came out that it's not broken. Shocking,
His leg
man.
ain't broken.
Yep.
Speaking of broken legs, though,
Yep.
Houston wide receiver Tank Dell fractured his fibula against the Broncos, effectively ending his breakout rookie season. So that's a big bummer. And now,
I think we're seeing a trend, man.
yeah.
There's a lot of players after we do this list.
Yeah.
After they play the Broncos.
You can't. That was his own guy did it. Honestly,
No, there's a video of DJ Jones. There's a conspiracy out there that thinking that he's leaning on it. You can see him like slowly, because DJ Jones is on his elbows on the ground like that,
Yeah.
and that's who kind of fell into his ankle, and he kind of just put his pressure into it, and that's when
Oh
Dell
my
fell
God.
over. I don't know. Not saying it's the
dude,
case.
The Broncos are just picking
Pretty
people off.
weird, man. They're the Bash Brothers. The whole squad is.
So yeah, that's a bummer. And CJ Stroud loses one of his biggest
He was
weapons.
having a hell of a rookie season.
Yeah, he
I think
really was.
He was up to like 790 yards or something before that
Yeah, I
game.
didn't see what his year total is at, but another wide receiver, Amari Cooper, ruled out with a head injury versus the Rams. So we'll be looking into that to see
That's
if he's
their
going to be
number
starting
one.
this week. So, and he got banged up in the Broncos game too. So it's 2 weeks in a row now. He's been leaving a game early.
Yeah. If anybody's hearing some squeaking, just don't worry about it.
It's just little man. He's getting his toy.
Yep.
He's all revved up from the move.
Yeah, that's it. We got to have him in here because she's moving the stuff over to the new house right now. So we're doing some dog sitting.
Yep. So,
All right. The Dolphins, they lost both of their tackles in that game. Didn't seem to slow them down, but they were playing the horrible Commanders. Teron Armstead. What was what was it, knee?
Yeah. Well, actually, his was an ankle.
Ankle,
so, yeah.
right. And then Robert Hunt on the other side hurt his hamstring, and they did not return to that game.
Yeah, and then also linebacker Jerome Baker, knee MCL week to week after being ruled out in that same game for the Dolphins. New England, Ramondre Stevenson, ankle from a hip drop tackle. X-rays were negative, so they got some good news there. We'll see if he misses any time.
Yep, that tackle's definitely getting banned.
Yep.
Yep.
It's coming.
And did you mention Derek Carr?
I did not. Let's talk about him. Guy was in a car accident, apparently.
Definitely in a car accident. That's what I wrote down, kind of. But I was just like injuries everywhere. Because this
body.
is what happened a couple weeks ago. I think when it was the Bears game when he got hurt. Hey, dude. Hey, chill out, little man.
Oh, yeah, he's going crazy now.
I know, and I'm not even going to be able to take it from him, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't realize it was getting that loud. And I was like, he's getting after it.
He wants to kill the squeakers and toys. But yeah, Derek Carr in the Bears game. Oh my god.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Yeah. Hey, hold on a second.
Well, pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. I'll take this over. So Derek Carr, yeah, he gets a concussion, shoulder, and the dreaded back injury.
Broke my back.
Yeah, and that's
My
just
back is broken.
nice.
A vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Hopefully it's not spinal. He is probably, they're thinking he's probably going to miss this next week. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Kenny Pickett, another quarterback, Pittsburgh, had surgery on his ankle. That was a high ankle sprain. Tomlin did say it is not going to be a season-ending injury or surgery, I guess, for that matter. So how that's going to work, I don't know. There's not that much time left in the season, so we'll see how that ends up playing out for Pittsburgh. The last one I have was Washington. Brian Robinson, hamstring ruled out in that same game in the Dolphins. So that's all I've got.
Yeah, that's all I've got as well. Pretty significant ones. More quarterbacks go down this year, man.
Yeah.
I think we're up to like 14 backup quarterbacks are starting right now.
Yeah, and they're looking at some of the matchups this week. It's
rough.
4 games are backup on backup. Backup on backup crime.
I mean, you got to hand it to Jake Browning. We'll get into it later. But
Yeah.
damn, that was.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
else.
That was an insane performance. But right now it's time to get into the NFL news. We got a few things to get into here.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
That's right. And now we're giving you the business of football. The only a couple things to talk about, really. Shaq Leonard joins the Eagles over the Cowboys with a 1-year deal, and the Eagles defense gets a little bolstering in the linebacker room. So the rich get richer in that regard.
Well, I wonder which Shaq Leonard we're going to get hurt. The one post-injury or,
That's very true.
is it the one before? Because if it's anything like the one before, they could desperately use it. And their linebacker core and defensive backs have just been letting so many yards go past them.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. And, it's nuts, too, because it was either going to be the Cowboys or the Eagles. And it's kind of interesting. He chose the Eagles, who's kind of been in the decline. So
Yeah, a little bit. So
I wonder what that's about.
we'll see if he can help them in the defensive side of things. The other thing I wanted to bring up, which has become a little bit of a news story after it was allegedly leaked by someone in the Jets. Zach Wilson says thanks but no thanks, as the Jets are like, maybe we should go back to Wilson after Trevor Siemian kind of shit the bed in the game this weekend. So
Yeah.
it is interesting because Robert Saleh came out and was, trying to walk back the whole thing, saying it's not true and this and that. But now we're hearing, well, there was a leak, which means then that means it must have been a little bit true, right?
Yeah.
The leak happened.
And you could totally believe it, too, because, if you just went through this roller coaster ride with your coach and your Zach Wilson, why would you want to go back out there? I would want to be the backup. I'd be like, fuck this, dude. I'm ready to be a free agent.
Yeah.
I just release me. I'm done with this.
Yeah, you guys already threw me to the wolves after Aaron, so
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
Yeah, I don't blame him one bit.
Did you have anything for the NFL?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
And these are just little things as the NFL keeps cruising along. One more thing, Brock Purdy, who entered Sunday with 9-1 odds to win the MVP, is now the favorite, as him and the Niners, who are also favored to win the Super Bowl this year, both sitting at 3-1 odds.
Yeah.
So that is pretty rad.
Yep, and he deserves it too. He's been playing out of his mind. A lot of people have been talking about Tyreek. That's definitely a good case. Dak. The problem is when Purdy and Dak went head to head, Purdy outshined him. Tenfold. But we still got a few more games left. We'll see how it goes. The other news I did want to mention though is a little shout out to Mike Evans, man.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's crazy you said that. Someone just hit us up in the chat about that. So,
oh, yeah? Yeah, 10 consecutive seasons, man.
Yeah. Only other person to do that,
Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice did it 11. He did a total of 14.
Yeah.
But 11 consecutive. It's really tough to do, and I think he deserves a shout out because not enough people talk about Mike Evans as like the top wide receivers out there. But you look at the guys that he's had as a quarterback to do this.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston. He had Tom Brady for 3 years. That helped. And then
wasn't God damn it, the beard
Fitzpatrick,
wasn't he?
I believe he was there for a short stint of time.
He's been on like every team though at this point.
I think like maybe just before Jameis got there. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, it's insane. 10 years in a row having 1,000-yard seasons. That's just impressive.
Yeah,
hats off to you, Mike Evans.
Indeed, definitely. Yeah, and like it's like you said, it's like he had 1 year with Brady. Or no, 2.
Yeah, it was
2
3.
years. No, was it 3?
Yeah.
Holy shit, time flies when you're having
because it was
fun.
they went to the Super Bowl this first year. The second year they lost to the Rams in that NFC Championship.
Oh
game.
yeah.
And then or it was maybe a divisional round, either way. But then the last year they lost in the playoffs with Brady when he decided to come back.
Yeah, that's right. So you're right. I was wrong. Damn
Okay.
it. I don't know everything.
Yeah, no, hats off to him. It's impressive.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if he can do it again next year with whoever's a quarterback. If it's Baker Mayfield, we'll see.
Yeah.
No Baker.
It's tough. Yeah, that's what's crazy. He did that with Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Kind of an older Tom Brady. Crazy. But yeah, that's I think all I got for NFL news.
Oh, that's all right. So, well, do you want to hit the NBA or go call Alex? Because we're going to have a guest on talking about college sports. So,
we don't have much to talk about for NBA, so let's just go ahead and cover that.
All right, let's do it, which is also our favorite soundbite. So,
It's a good one.
Make it roll. Outlet.
Is the Twitch here listed?
yeah.
Nice.
T, come on. I'm burning. My lungs are burning.
Yeah, so some NBA news that we got. The Pacers are red hot right now.
Yeah, they Tyrese Halliburton is right now in the MVP consideration because everybody seems just to be like Jokic is just going to keep doing triple doubles and
That's what I was going to say is I think he's second to Jokic in my book, but Tyrese Halliburton is just balling out of control this year. He's averaging over 10 assists. Last night he beat the Celtics in an elimination game of the in-season tournament. He had 26 points, 10 for 18 shooting, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists. His first triple-double of the season. But, I mean, this is a guy that he's just playing out of his mind. And he's got the Pacers playing really well. They aren't playing any defense.
Yeah.
They're like one of the worst in the league in defense. But when it comes to their offensive prowess, I mean, they're upwards of, I think, almost 125 per game.
That's crazy. And, yeah, I mean, we were talking about it today, but someone was posting about how it's crazy. He had that stat line with 0 turnovers, and then like right next to it, you're like, yeah, Jokic has done that twice in the last 6 games. No big deal.
Yeah. That's just it. It's like what Jokic is head and shoulders above everybody else. That's just it. Is like he's making it look so easy. That's why to me he is the clear front runner for MVP.
Well, yeah, but it's just crazy that we're just not talking about it that much. But it is what it is. So
That's true. What else you got for NBA?
Well, we'll just kind of wrap up on the in-season tournament as the semifinals, or the quarterfinals, I'm sorry, wrap up tonight. The Knicks are currently taking on the Bucks. The Bucks are ahead 61-54 with 4:55 remaining in the second. And I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, it's Phoenix versus LA Lakers tonight. So from these two teams, they will be playing either the Pacers or the Pelicans. Two P names there. That's exciting. Pelicans, Pacers.
And I wonder if Devin Booker's back tonight. I know that he missed our game last Friday night because of a rolled up ankle a couple days before, but I'm not seeing here that Booker's playing. So
Juice is on here, and he said Rock Chalk.
Juice, nice. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, man, that's what I'm watching right now against UMKC.
We are watching the Kansas City, Kansas game.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kansas is in the lead right now. The score just went away. 31-11. Kansas is ahead. So doing good in this first half.
This
of
is a
basketball.
game they should blow out.
Other news in the NBA. LeBron and Ime Udoka had a little bit of an exchange.
Boy, they got mad at each other, man. That was hilarious.
Yeah, Ime told LeBron to quit your bitching. And then LeBron came back at him and said, don't be throwing that word around lately. We're all men out here. And then they go back and forth.
Yeah.
Ime ends up getting tossed. And, apparently there's a little bit of bad blood there that extends back to the playing days.
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. And it was crazy. I didn't realize that, Ime used to play against LeBron. I'm just not that much of a basketball nerd to know that, but when I see the pictures, I'm like, oh, damn, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it is crazy. So,
because I did see that stat because when I saw them playing together, it was a stat where it just blew me away. Maybe that's why Ime Udoka's got some bad blood against him or whatever, because LeBron James had as many points in his rookie season as Ime Udoka had his entire career.
Yeah.
Like an 8-year career or something like that, I think. That's just unreal.
So it's crazy that, just 1 year of LeBron, his rookie year.
Yeah.
Not even his best.
And he was only, I think, averaging 23 or 24 that first year.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Which is good for a rookie.
Yeah, really good. Other things that happened in the world of basketball, Kevin Durant, passes Moses Malone for 10th all-time scoring.
That's impressive.
With 27,423 points in his 17th season. Yeah. And he did have that one season he missed with the Achilles.
Oh, yeah, that's
Achilles!
True. Yeah. That's saying a lot, too. Passing Moses Malone, one of the Philadelphia Sixer greats. And then you look at, where he's at in that list. I think he's right under maybe Charles Barkley. I mean, it's unanimous that he's one of the best NBA players today, but, I think he's starting to put his stamp on, one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Certainly most talented.
Definitely. So, good for him. Proud of him.
Good job, KD.
But way to go.
Yeah. That little fadeaway he's got at the elbow, man, you just can't defend
Well, when
it.
you're 6'11".
Yeah. But there's not a lot of 6'11" lanky guys that could make it that accurately. That's for sure.
There's just that 7'5" guy now that's looks the same but just giant
and not making it.
Yeah, he doesn't make it as much, but he's still rookie.
He's still having
He's
a
got
rookie
a little
year
bit to go. OKC's Josh Giddey is in a little bit of trouble as some things came out last week that he may have been dating an underage girl. This was a few years ago when he was 19, but I guess at the time she might have even been as young as 14. So big issues there. And now I guess the family and the underage girl have hired an attorney, Gloria Allred, who's a famous advocate for women in cases against powerful men. So we'll see what's going to happen. The NBA is now also looking into this. So it sounds like, as they usually say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
So...
Bad boys.
Bad boys. Yeah, I guess we can play
that, right?
Where is it? Let me
Something
get to
you
it.
shouldn't be doing right there.
Yeah. Oh, I went by. And this is for you, Josh Giddey. You might be hearing these soon. Well, we are about to call Alex Beal.
Yes, this is a good friend of mine that I know through my buddy Samir, who I've had on this podcast. And we recently went down to Mexico, and we were just talking about sports, and I realized that, like, you know, I've talked to Alex a lot about sports. We have a lot in common music-wise and everything like that. He's a really good dude, and this guy really knows his college football.
Yeah.
So I basically dubbed him our correspondent. He's our mouth of the South, if you will. He is our Paul Feinbaum. So,
Really?
yeah.
Does he have the ears to match?
He doesn't have the bald head.
The
Not
sweet
yet.
cul-de-sac?
He's not 85 years old,
No.
but he's just as passionate and just as knowledgeable. So we're happy to have him on. Everybody welcome on Alex Beal.
Let's call him right now.
Cue in the dials.
Again,
and the
I hope
rings.
the day happens where I call the wrong person.
That would be great.
Oh, why is this so loud?
Yo, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome to
Long
the podcast.
time listener,
Oh
first
my
time
God.
caller. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Beal. Watching a little Jayhawk basketball right now, taking on the Roos.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I want to talk about Chris's nuts and bolts and how I don't want to talk about Josh Giddey's Tinder profile, let's talk
Yeah.
about college football, guys.
That's
All
what
right,
I was
let's do
saying.
it.
Good shift, man. Nice shift. I dig it, dude. I dig it.
I
man.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I did want to ask though, like, so who is your college team? I know you've told me before, but tell the listeners.
Probably the only one in the world that likes Kansas football more than Kansas basketball.
Okay.
Nice. That's what I'm
fair.
talking about, man.
And they were good this year, so.
Yeah. I went to the 2008 Orange Bowl. My dad, my uncle, and my brother in 2008 went all the way down to Miami, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Aqib Talib had a pick six, and we won the Orange Bowl and been hooked ever since then. And then, of course, we've sucked since then, but
Lance Leipold's got it turned around, though, doesn't he, man?
Not now.
yeah, thank God.
Yep. I'm excited to play CU next year. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
The
My
Big 12 world.
Yeah.
my significant other, works at CU, so it's going to be interesting when KU and CU are in the same conference.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
going to be a rude awakening. Welcome back to the Big 12.
A split in the household.
Right.
Yeah, back again.
Yep. Well, hey, man, you got any whiskey there in front of you? You going to do a shot with us?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Yeah, we got some Pendleton we're going to do here just as an honorary toast and cheers to have you as, like I just said a second ago, you're going to be our official college football, college sports correspondent. Oh, he's getting it poured. He must be getting it.
No, he literally went to go
I
get
think
it.
he
He's
I
like-
got it. No,
Nice,
I'm
there we
here.
go.
I'm here.
He's like, I had to literally go.
Sweet,
I'm
dude.
back now. I had to go. I'm back.
Hell yeah.
No, it went blank there, but yeah, I have the whiskey in front of me. I'm watching you guys too.
Nice.
Sweet, man. What are you drinking on tonight?
Oh gosh, there's this great place in Kansas City called Brown's Irish Market, and I'm drinking some nice whiskey that they sold me, nice and local.
Oh, Irish whiskey's damn good whiskey. Hell yeah. Some of our favorites, J-Mo, so.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm going to
The
try
Irish-
that out.
The Irish do it right, you know.
Oh, yeah. They know how to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Damn right. Well, Bill, let's cheers.
here's to the first time you being on the show. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody out there. If you're doing one, do it with us.
Let's kick off this bowl season. Woo. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's how we do it. All right.
So, where
There
should
were
we start?
a lot of people upset Sunday.
Yeah.
And Beal did a good job of sending me a pretty lengthy text of his explanation and his disposition on all of it. And I was like, okay, we're having the right guy on.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let us hear it, Beal. What do you think? We got Michigan at number 1. They're going to be playing number 4, Alabama. And then number 2, Washington is going to take on number 3, Texas.
Tejas.
Yep. Give us your take.
so I hate to say things are fair in 2023, but let's think logical about this. Why is Michigan number 1 over Washington when they've beaten Penn State, who really isn't that good, and they've beaten Ohio State, but other than that, Iowa, Illinois, Rutgers, whoever's in the Big Ten, why would they be number 1 over Washington? So I do have a problem with that.
That's a good point.
my second big problem is if they're trying to rank these teams in order of who's the best, you're telling me that Florida State should be 5 over Georgia in Ohio State? Why is Florida State 5 then when they lost their quarterback? Shouldn't they be 8? So there's just no consistency.
Isn't it because, for example, Alabama was 3-1, or no, they're 4-1 against top 25 teams, and then FSU was 3-0. Is that right?
I mean, that seems correct, but on a neutral field, don't you think Georgia, Ohio State are both better than Florida State?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
so
without their quarterback for sure.
Yeah, without the quarterback, that's the big issue there.
So now they're like, well, they barely not made it. They're 5 now.
Okay.
So again, if they're going to rank these teams in order of who's best, I mean, they went to the eye test. They turned college football into gymnastics, where they're like, hey, let's go to the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have Alabama jump Florida State. Well, if you're going to do that, then have Georgia at 5. Have all these teams that are probably now better than Florida State. Don't put them at 5. I mean, there's no consistency in what they're doing, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree that. I mean, especially if you look at what they did with TCU last year. I mean, TCU did go through and beat Michigan, but then just got completely obliterated by Georgia in the national championship. Here's where I agree with you. I think Washington should be number 1 because they beat Oregon, who was a top 5 team, and I think the first time they beat them, I think they were like 7th ranked, or no, I think they were ranked number 5 or something, and I think they were both 4 and 5. They beat them twice. Michigan, like you said, only beat Ohio State, Iowa, and Penn State. Yeah, I think they also beat. Wrong.
They went to USC and beat them there. Again, that was back when USC was still ranked in the top 25. Beat Utah, who's always tough, right? Beat Oregon State, who their rival. Last time they're playing, I think, right? Because they're in a different conference now, and they barely beat them, but they beat them. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of good wins. I mean, they even beat Michigan State. Again, Michigan State's not great, but they're still a Big Ten team. I mean,
and that was right at the beginning of the year too, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was week 2 or 3, I think.
I don't think that ever gets enough.
And Arizona. They beat Arizona too, and Arizona's now one of the top 10 best teams if you're looking at the eye test. They've won a bunch of games in a row. They have a lot of good wins.
So we're in agreement that Washington should be number 1. You with that?
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay. Then so maybe Michigan would be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We're going to create like a little hypothetical. We're going to do our own rankings
We're re-ranking as we go.
So, I see where this is going.
Michigan seemed dominant in that game against. It's crazy that the game was as close as it was with Ohio State, but I mean, it just seemed like Ohio State couldn't do anything other than that like one drive where they just tried to run it down Michigan's throat.
Yeah, I think it was in the third quarter. They looked really good, but every drive besides that, it was tough for them to get yards, and they had the best player in the game too, and they could barely throw to Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's true. Yeah. So Michigan at 2. Then who do we put at 3? Are we going to put Florida State there or Texas?
Georgia.
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Sick 'em.
I would probably put Florida State there. Between them and Texas, I would, you could either or. I mean, who are Texas's big wins?
Alabama.
Besides them. Yeah,
I know. Oklahoma State, which was a top 25 team. They were only ranked 22nd, but they did just wallop them 59 to
Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
49-21.
49-21, I think.
They also beat up on
last
Texas
weekend.
Tech 57-7.
Yeah, Texas Tech sucks, but
and they got your guys as Jayhawks too there.
Yeah, they did beat. Yeah, and that was when KU was in the top 25. Yeah. I think they were.
Yeah, we should have won that game.
I know we had them in the first.
We had a bad call that game.
Yeah.
But they did have that loss to Oklahoma too. The week after. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Loss to Oklahoma. Yeah, 34-30.
Not a bad loss. They won 10 games. Yeah. I mean, but and again, I'm not saying that Florida State has better wins. I think they beat LSU. I think week 1. And, Louisville. I mean, who else is in the ACC? I'm not even sure if they beat.
They
North
beat
Carolina.
LSU, Louisville, and Clemson. And a
Clemson,
lot of
yeah.
people can say Clemson that that was when they were in the top 25. Clemson was really highly ranked early in the season because of their name, pretty much. But then they drastically fell off a cliff. And
Yeah.
how do you look at this kind of narrative there? Because this is where a lot of arguments kind of split. Where Clemson, do you judge them by, okay, well they beat Clemson, look at how they finished the season. Okay, that's how I judge something like that when it comes down to the end of the season. It's not about, oh, they beat Clemson that was maybe 7th ranked or what, maybe 10 at the time or whatever like that. I look at it as they beat a bad Clemson team. All right, this isn't quite so much me.
Because Dabo doesn't believe in the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah, and that's why.
He believes in God, he says.
Dabo's going to
Amen.
find a new job, I'm sure, soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say Clemson, do you mean Louisville, who they just played?
No, I mean when they beat Clemson earlier this year, because when they beat Clemson, it was
September.
way in Clemson. I think was in that top 25 at the time, and the same thing goes for Louisville. I mean, they beat a Louisville team that, granted they were in the top 25, but they barely beat a Kentucky team.
Yeah.
It's
It's just hard to sit here and try and make any sense of this, because I just wish that the voters would just come out and just say, we just picked what was going to be the best TV.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing to do here, because there's no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, obviously they want to see Saban and Harbaugh face off. They definitely did not want to have another TCU versus Georgia like last year, where it's just, nobody cared after the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, after probably 3 minutes, people tuned out of that game.
That's the thing that's a bummer. And that's how you can't argue the fact that there's no reason why Florida State at 13-0 shouldn't be in the top 4. It's hard to argue that fact, other than the fact there's no quarterback there that got them there. But again, I don't know. It's just hard to make sense of this or try and make, any rhyme or reason to it, for that matter.
It's really odd. I just don't like inconsistency. And again, ESPN had a lot to do with it, I bet. And again, I'm not a crazy conspiracy person, but the games are going to be on their network. These are the 2 best games. And boy, this is probably going to be the best college playoff of these 4 that's ever existed in the last 10 years, because we've had a lot of snooze fests. People forget that.
And I'm really excited to see new teams in there, man.
This is a nice thing, though.
Washington's first team in it, Texas's first time in it, which is crazy because they were at the top of when the BCS championship was going around for a long time. So I'm excited
I think Washington's been in it before.
Have they?
I think Washington. Yeah, I think 6 years ago when they had maybe Jake Browning actually.
That's what's crazy, man. We're gonna talk about it later, but yeah, Jake Browning. I did not realize that he had all those records at Washington, and then had all of the California state records. I mean, California is a huge state. Think about all of the NFL quarterbacks that's come through California. That's saying something.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I'm looking this up. I didn't know this, but 2016, Washington was the 4 seed and Alabama was the 1 seed. Jalen Hurts versus Jake Browning.
Hell yeah, dude! Nice job, man. Right on top of that. Hell yeah. No, I didn't know that. And one thing I always appreciate the Huskies for too, I'm sure you can too, Bill, is the D-backs, man. Well, that's where we got Trent McDuffie.
Oh yeah, and crazy Marcus Peters.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a free agent now, I think. I don't know
he
if
got
anybody
cut
picked him up
right after the Chiefs beat him. But okay, go ahead.
I just don't think. Again, back to they're doing the eye test, right? They picked the 2 best teams. Well, what else did they want Florida State to do? Florida State won, against their rival, Florida. Tough game. Then they beat Louisville, who was ranked. I personally don't like to go back and say, hey, this team which is what they're doing. This team beat a ranked team in September. Well, if you do that, Colorado is ranked, right? They won 4 games.
Yeah.
But I don't like playing that game because, again, team could win 3 straight games, pop into the 25, and then pop out and lose, right? So, again, Florida State, big school. They did everything they needed to do. I think the ESPN and the people in that room, they wanted an SEC team. They know this is the last year of the 4, so this will never happen again. I just don't think it's fair to Florida State. I really don't. They're going by the eye test when, hey, again, 4 years ago, Ohio State won a national championship when on their 3rd string quarterback, Cardale Jones.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Florida
Yeah.
State has a really good defense.
Well,
really,
let's
really
not
good
forget
defense.
Alabama with Jalen Hurts. Didn't he
Exactly.
replace that? Wasn't that Tua that year?
Well, Tua
Yeah.
replaced
Tua
Jalen Hurts.
replaced
That's
him.
right. I had it backwards. But yeah, again, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, what would happen if J.J. McCarthy tomorrow, and again, some of my best friends are Michigan fans, tears his ACL? Do they just automatically say, "Oh, hey, quarterback's injured. Let's redo this. Ohio State almost beat them. Let's put them in." It's just there's no consistency to it, because TCU last year was not one of the 4 best teams. They made it actually over Alabama, I think.
Yeah.
But they put them in and they lost the championship game versus K-State. So again, I just want some consistency.
That would be nice. I think that is one of the reasons why they just did what they did, because they're like, it's the last year. Like, nobody's going to be – like, if there was going to be more years of this, there would be a lot more of an uproar. But I think everybody realizes that with them going to 12 teams next year, even though that's 4 too many, I think everybody's just like, what does it really matter? It's the last year. We all knew this was flawed when it happened. But this is the last year of it, so they're like, let's just do whatever we want and just deal with the little bit of backlash and then move on into the new frontier, so to speak. So
yeah, and I saw people say, hey, this team would be ranked or would be favored over this team. Florida State would be 2 touchdown underdogs to Alabama, meaning Alabama now can be on. Well, Florida State would probably be underdogs, I don't know, a bunch of the teams below them. But again, Florida State didn't lose a game this year. Alabama did to Texas.
So did you see J.J. Watt's idea for this, though?
I did
no,
not
I
know.
missed that.
It was actually pretty good. I was like, damn, I wish they would just listen to him. That'd be a pretty damn good idea, because he's trying to beat Adam Schefter's stuff, too, because he's the one that broke the Zach Ertz news. So I think he's trying to be like a new up-and-coming NFL head pretty much for this. But he had the idea of Michigan and Washington get a bye, and then with Texas, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida State, you just do a random draw for matchups, and then whoever wins those games goes on to play Michigan and Washington.
is that to fix this year?
That would
Or just
to
going
fix
forward?
this year.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to do that.
No,
But
obviously.
it's not a
it
bad
was
idea.
a good hypothetical.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this guy just thought of this. Like, if they just would have thought of that. And
Why
then-
isn't this guy leading the charge?
I'm saying. God, they have a whole
Yeah,
committee
man.
of this. J.J. Watt has gotten hit in the head a million times. Got better ideas than they do.
It's better than the people in the room that are doing it. It's definitely better than the BCS.
Oh, yeah. I really tuned out for like a good 6 or 7 years during the BCS because I got tired of the popularity contest. Yeah, and I got over it, man. But okay.
Yeah, TCU would have had no shot last year if it was the BCS still. They would have had no
for
shot.
sure.
Not at all.
Yeah, we all know
I do
that.
they
love their
almost- I mean-
mascot, though. The Horned Frogs.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's funny that they're a Christian school
I
and
know.
they have like a devil frog as their
Yeah.
mascot. It cracks me
I
up.
love it, dude.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit. We can talk about that probably all night, but let's talk about the Heisman candidates real quick. I don't know
Yep.
if
I wanted
it's something
to-
you guys want to get into, but
Definitely would ask him about that.
yeah, we can run down the candidates. So we have LSU's quarterback, Jaden Daniels, Oregon's quarterback, Bo Nix. I think he's in his 7th year or something like that.
77.
Yeah, Washington QB's Michael Penix Jr. and, of course, Ohio State's wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. And this is the first time that they've had 2 Pac-12 finalists since 2010 when it was Andrew Luck and Cam Newton.
Oh, wow.
Little throwback there.
Cam Newton, Pac-10?
Yeah, I was going to say, what? Cam Newton was with Auburn.
Oh, no, I said Pac-12. Did I say 10?
Yeah, but that
But he went to
he went to
Oh,
Auburn.
shit. Maybe Maybe I wrote that down wrong. Either way, so I just threw out some nonsense, some nonsensical things.
That's
so,
why we're on the fringe.
yeah.
That's
It's
maybe it was Toby Gerhardt, that Stanford guy.
yeah, maybe yeah, good old Toby.
That's awesome.
Nice, nothing like the internet doing you wrong. So
So who's your pick, Beal?
If you go by the best player, which they've only done a few times, Devontae Smith won the Heisman a couple of years ago. I'd go Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not going to win. I think it definitely is Jaden Daniels. If you look at his
Really?
stats, it's exactly like Lamar Jackson. If you put their stats right next to each other, run the ball a lot and a lot, I think he had even more passing yards than Lamar did at Louisville.
Oh, I bet. He had
Jaden-
that game a couple weeks ago. He had, 600 yards of offense? Or it was a 500 or something? It was like 2 games ago.
Yeah, and I think Lamar didn't really pass a lot towards the end. He was kind of front heavy on the Heisman stats, but still, his stats are that dominant. And also, I think I saw another thing where it's like these 5 players had a certain amount of passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns in a year, and it was like all the Heisman. It was like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Johnny Manziel, and Bo Nix didn't fit the criteria of any of them.
Oh, wow.
My pick is Daniels because he's just electric. He had Heisman moments. Bo Nix didn't really have a Heisman moment. Again, they lost to Washington twice.
See, that's
why
why that's my pick is Michael Penix. I think he deserves it.
He'd be number 2 on my ballot. He throws a hell of a left-handed ball.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I was telling Dan this morning how like there's so many
the way
times.
they sling it.
Yeah, him and Tua. Maybe
yeah.
there's something to do with left-handed and just having the accuracy because there's so many times when I was watching Penix this year that there was just dots that he threw, and I could not believe it. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure his completion percentage is really high. And then you look at like what we just talked about a second ago, the competition that he's beat: Oregon twice, Utah, USC. I mean, he just made Colorado look like they were chunk change.
Yeah,
So I mean, everybody did.
Hey,
but
not the first 3 games. Okay?
I think Penix again. I just hope. He's for some reason people just don't like him because he comes from Indiana basketball school. He's been injured a million times in college, and then his last year he has an amazing year. He was okay. He was pretty good last year too, but people are just like, oh, okay. Versus Bo Nix has been good. His entire career. Came out as a freshman, played at Auburn. Mm-hmm. He's always been on a good team, and the older Heisman clientele kind of like Bo Nix. He's SEC guy at first, but I love Penix. I just don't want the Broncos to draft him. No offense, Chris.
Yes. hey, they've won enough games this year. It might be kind of tough.
We might be screwed. Yeah, when we decided to beat.
I don't think he's
going to
be a top. I don't think he's going to be a top 20 pick though.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say about his Heisman.
He might be like second rounder. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's smaller and it's really just his arm and his accuracy that's his like big highlight. He doesn't run really as much.
Before we move on, so what I said was not made up.
What are you talking about?
I'm going back to my bullshit little teaser into this. So with Nix and Penix, the Pac-12 has 2 Heisman finalists for the first time since 2010, when Andrew Luck and runner-ups Auburn's Cam Newton and Oregon running back LaMichael James finished 3rd in voting. I got sidetracked and did not finish my notes. So LaMichael James from Oregon would be the second.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
cool.
So that's on me. I just wanted to fix that so I didn't seem like a total asshole. But I still
now we got
half-assed my notes. So either way,
story of my
Mark
entire college career.
Glad we got that cleared up. Hell yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so back to what we were talking about. My bad to interject.
But
again.
dude, yeah, Marvin Harrison, he definitely deserves. I mean, he was averaging like what, $130 a game. Had games of like 180, 170. I mean, he's the MVP for Ohio State for sure.
Yeah, and their quarterback is in the transfer portal now, which shows you how good he is.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if for some reason Stroud stayed another year, those two on Ohio State?
Yeah. God. That would have been dangerous, man. I mean, who would have thought Stroud would have been as good as he is?
No. I mean, the stereotype is the Ohio State quarterback suck in the NFL, but he's proven everyone wrong.
Yeah. And see, I've heard rumors that Arch Manning might want to go to Ohio State. I think there's a lot of reasons why McCord is leaving because not so much on his own accord, if you will. Whew, see what I did there?
They definitely have their eye on someone.
Yeah. I mean, who knows if it's Arch Manning or not, but it's like, wherever he goes, I think he needs to get just like a little bit more playing time before he gets thrown into a powerhouse like Ohio State or an LSU or something, Is Jaden Daniels going to the NFL draft? He's got.
He hasn't announced yet. I bet he'll wait until after the Heisman, but I don't think he has any more eligibility.
Yeah, I think he's already played for 5 years or so.
That's another guy that a lot of people are talking about. Obviously, if Penix goes too high or someone else takes him, Jaden Daniels would be a really good guy to go grab in high second, third round, wherever he ends up, and sit him behind Russ since we have to eat his stupid contract because there's no getting out of it at this point.
Yeah, definitely not.
So,
Chad, you'll love this. You know who who recruited Jaden Daniels was Herm Edwards at Arizona State.
Wow.
He was at
You
Arizona
play
State for
to
3
win.
years.
I didn't know that. That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Good
And
old
Brian
Herm.
Kelly took him.
Completely destroyed the Chiefs while he was with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Herm Edwards, and then he got fired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
That's what he does. It's
yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else do we want to get into with,
Well, I just want to ask real quick. Let's shift gears to the old hardwood. With the Jayhawks game going on right now, this is, we'll get into a little bit of a homer topic, right? But they are ranked second right now. What do you think of the Hunter Dickinson led, Jayhawks right now, man? How far do you think this team might go?
I think that this team is either going to lose in the first weekend or go to the Final Four. They're very scary. They're inconsistent.
Yeah.
They're only up by 14 against my alma mater, UMKC. And I think, Chad, who did they barely beat? Self was upset because the game before UConn, they didn't look very good against a really bad team Eastern.
Oh, Eastern
Iowa,
Illinois. Yeah, Eastern
Illinois.
Yep.
They didn't look good at all. So they look good versus the good teams, and then bad versus the bad teams, which that usually doesn't translate well in March.
Yeah, totally. I mean, when they lost to Marquette, I just saw. Granted, that was on a neutral court in Maui and everything, but I think this is like a repercussion of what we see sometimes with this transfer portal, where we get stars that come in and they haven't been there for numerous years, like DeJuan Harris, like KJ Adams, but there's a little bit of a chemistry.
like all of CU.
Pretty much, yeah. And we see that. There's a lack of chemistry. We see the size of Hunter Dickinson. We see the powerhouse. He's huge. But, in the first handful of games I've watched this year, he's throwing to somebody that's not there. There's passes that's getting thrown to nobody. And there's a lot of miscommunication going on right now. And they're just having to scrape together wins, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but I feel like every year we're like, as KU fans, we're so damn spoiled, and we're kind of becoming that way, Chiefs fans, unfortunately. But, in December we'll lose to, I'll make up some team, Illinois, unranked Illinois or someone. January we'll lose at Texas Tech. Sky's fallen. And then February we just go on a 10-game run and win the Big 12 again. And but all of that doesn't matter. It's the tournament. We're so inconsistent in the tournament. I love Bill Self, but we have so many early exit losses, and when they're playing this sloppy, it does kind of scare me.
It does, man. We have a bad record of that. But you know what? I think it gave me hope, and it was super emotional the other night, and I wanted to kind of touch on it. Was KJ Adams, man. It almost brought tears to my eyes. After that UConn win, Bill Self just gave him all the credit in the world. This is a guy that went 4-16, I think, from the free throw line the previous game, and then went 6 for 9. He's a horrible free throw shooter. And then after that UConn game, KU was ranked, I think, like 3rd or something like that at the time, 5th, and they're playing 4th-ranked UConn. Last year's champions. This is the past 2 champions from March Madness. And KJ Adams, who lost his mother to cancer, had to get on a plane after that game and go to the service. And man, it's just getting me goosebumps even talking about it, because the speech that he gave in the locker room
in here
afterwards was amazing. He talked about how this is a guy that can't hit a free throw, but then when the game's on the line and he's got to fly on a plane afterwards to bury his mom, hits the most clutch free throws in the world at the end of the game to seal it up. That galvanizes a team, and I think that could really help with the early exit woes that we've been accustomed to.
I completely agree. It kind of reminds me of the Thomas Robinson stuff. I think, was it him where he had one of his family members pass away and during the year, then he comes back and wins the player of the year for the Big 12. And we made the Final Four with them, and that was definitely one of the worst Kansas teams of Bill Self's era. And we lost in the championship game versus Kentucky. I think 2013.
Or 9? Yeah, something like that. I was way off, but yeah, that's exactly it. And did you see where Thomas Robinson was the first one that reached out to KJ Adams when the news broke about his mom, and was like, "Hey man, I'll be here if you need and anything." And it was really cool of him.
Juice on the chat here actually just threw something in there about that UConn game, that he couldn't believe that KJ's free throw percentage was 25% before that game.
Yep.
Then he's like, has anybody ever been that bad? And I was like, Shaq?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
KJ is horrible at free throws. And then on the game of this huge game, and then have to go to all this family stuff afterwards, has the best free throw shooting of his career. That says a lot about the kid's character.
Yeah,
Good point, Juice.
That's crazy. Yeah, great point.
All I have to say,
yeah, it just reminds me of a lot of the Thomas Robinson stuff, and he's getting his his jersey retired.
He is
this upcoming weekend.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mean to burst your guys' KU bubble. I'm going to bring it back to Colorado. You guys just better hope you don't run in number 13 Colorado State at any point in time. In the tournament, okay?
Oh, watch out for the Rams.
The Rammies are coming in strong this year. They just beat CU. Wednesday? So, yeah, that's
nice.
My arbitrary bit of information about college basketball, because it's not my forte at all.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I can't wait till we play Colorado more in the Big 12.
It's going to be fun.
For it to come back.
And who knows?
I was supposed to go to the KU-CU game. Sarah and I drove up. My fiance, we drove up. She works at CU. We drove up, I think, in 2021. KU was in CU. We're eating at our favorite place in Boulder. I get a text message like 30 minutes before the game. Someone on, I think, KU has COVID, and they're canceled the game.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, my gosh, this sucks. And then, again, everyone turned out to be okay, obviously.
Yeah.
And, I think it was the year that we won the championship.
Yep,
yeah,
it sure was, man. Yeah.
So now it's super exciting that they'll play in Boulder, every year, right?
Oh, yeah, that was the COVID
I think they're
going to
bounce back and
was
forth.
Was it the COVID year?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was also supposed to go to that game. And
it's
so crazy. They were just like, nah, game over.
Jeez, they had to have tickets for that. That'd be such a bummer, man.
It was really, really late. I mean, we were literally, the game started at 6:30, I think, or 6, and we got the message at 5:30. And we're like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Damn,
it
was crazy.
Ruining everything.
Ruined our championship.
Damn,
yeah, damn right, man. We would have won that year. That's for sure.
We did have Monday football, Tuesday football, Wednesday football, and Thursday, and even a Friday football in there, if I'm not mistaken.
We never had a Friday football.
We didn't?
The Black Friday game was the first time football's been on Friday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought there was
felt
a
like
game
it
on
name
Friday.
sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was that one week we had football almost every night. It's like, this is amazing.
Yeah, the Chiefs played, the Bills or
they played the
Dolphins
Bills
on, a Tuesday.
It was on a Monday at 2 or 3 o'clock.
And that was the thing. They're weird ass times, in the afternoon.
It was awful, man.
Yeah, I was still working. I was like, I'm not taking calls this afternoon.
Hell no, throwing it on my phone and watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, man, we appreciate all the expertise, Beal, and I can't wait till after this bowl season, and after these games, man. We definitely plan on having you back on, getting your reaction to all of it.
Dude, I can't wait to talk to you guys more about college sports. Thanks for having me on. Maybe we can talk before the games or after the games, like you said. And Chad, maybe I'll see you on Sunday.
I hope so, man. I'll be there for that Bills game. It's a big one.
You won't see me. I'm never setting foot in there again.
That's right.
I went in there one time.
You're banished.
My skin
see you
burned
guys.
when
Thanks
I
a lot.
walked
Go
in.
Chiefs.
Hell yeah, go Chiefs. Thanks a lot, Beal.
See ya. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night. Oh, he hung up. Oh, nice. Cool. It's nice when they hang up.
That went well, man.
Yeah, it definitely
he
did.
a good job.
Well, we have one more thing to get into. We want to thank Alex again for hopping on for the first time and being our college sports expert at this point. You know, we can't get the experts, but we'll make our own.
We got the spiel from the Beal.
Spiel from the Beal. I like it. That's what Chad came up with, and that is what that segment will be called. I will be making, a little cut screen thing for it, and we'll come up with, Spiel with the Beal. Yeah, something will happen in there.
Yeah, we'll make it.
One more thing to get into in terms of news. I know it's a little bit strange the way we're doing this. Because, we have the call in the middle of headlines, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to wrap up with NHL, and then we are going to get into the music break, which will be coming up here in a little bit. But for right now, here's some Foghorn Leghorn noises. just went Foghorn Leghorn. Sounds like Foghorn. I just threw it out there.
I dig it.
Not everything works. The NHL likely to raise the salary cap $4.2 million next year to $87.7 million. It is the largest single-year increase since the 2019-2020 season, where it rose 4.5. That season, though, what happened, Chad? We were just talking about
Lockout.
No,
What do you-
COVID.
Oh, COVID.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the NHLPA agreed on a flat salary cap in the 2020 season until the hockey-related revenue surpassed $3.3 billion for the previous season. The flat cap was deemed necessary due to the players ending up owing more than $1 billion to the league due to the COVID-19 related losses that they suffered. So that basically the flat cap was set there to basically let them pay off their debt. Right now, I think it's sitting at like $50 million as of today. So once that's paid off, the NHL cap can go back to more of like a league revenue model where it's directly linked to the revenue and they're not paying them back anymore, which is super strange to learn about. I did not know that was what was happening until I read that today. In other news, and this is all I have for the NHL, the International Ice Hockey Federation announced yesterday that they will mandate neck guards and wrist guards, and those are the slash guards, to prevent what happened to Adam Johnson. The IHL will be mandating this in the Olympics as well as the men's and women's world championships. The exact date is yet to be determined, but yeah, like I mentioned, this all stems from the unfortunate death of Adam Johnson, which, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, is still currently being investigated as a manslaughter charge. So we'll see how that goes. That leads you to believe that there might have been a little intent in there.
Oh,
so, I don't know.
Whenever he does like a figure skating type move
Kicks
to get
at
his
the
leg
neck.
up there,
Yeah,
it doesn't seem
so,
like a hockey move.
That's all I have for the NHL. Chad, you didn't have anything, did you?
Nope.
All right.
Not
Well,
this week.
let's get in the music break, and let's take a quick break ourselves.
Let's do it.
This month, we have the Patient Zeros, who I mentioned earlier. We played a show with this weekend. The last time we actually played a show with them, I believe, was in like 2017-ish, and it was the first time that their current bass player actually played with the band. He brought that up when we played with them on Friday night. These guys are super cool. I don't know the best way to describe it. It's definitely kind of got like a rock, almost jazzy, bluesy influence. It's a little bit, it's kind of all over the place, but you know where it ends up? Right where it needs to be. And the name of this song is Summer's Over by the Patient Zeros. And if you are watching or listening live on stream on Twitch, you're going to just hear some intro music over and over and over again. But we will be back after a short break. We'll see you guys shortly. Toodles!
Slow motion sickness. I need a paper bag and friction. The summer gorgeous, summer's over. I cut my hands but kept no water. Now every day's a little shorter. Summer may never recover. Making monuments out of memories and content. summer's over. The ashtrays full of hearts hung over. I cupped my hands but drank no water. I can't believe that no one told you. Sunrise and set happening in the same breath. I'm more isolated the closer they get, and it must have been a lie, or something that's forgettable in and out of my life. The hand-drumming birds arrive and they come with knives. No, I know if I had to lose, I forget whose hands are cutting who. Now I find stillness, my only illness. The summer breathless near the border of return I won't recover. Summer must be underwater, 'cause I can't breathe a word about her. Sunrise and set happening in the same breath. Just a single moment in the shortest day, and it must have been a lie, or something that's forgettable in and out of my life. Hand-drumming birds arrive and they come with knives. Though I know if I had to lose, don't forget whose hands are cutting loose. Don't forget whose hands are cutting
All right, we are back. Sorry,
Damn right
guys.
we are.
You ran out of noises. You were scared. You were there sitting in silence, wondering
say.
what's happening. Chad didn't know what to do. He doesn't even know what button to push over here. Damn it! I've got all this set up for me.
He's
so-
the producer, right?
That's right. So you guys, if you're watching live, just heard our intro and then silence. But if you are watching after the fact, or listening for that matter, you just heard the Patient Zeros. And the name of that song was Summer's Over. Like I said, we played a show with them. They're a good Denver band. We've been, playing shows with them for a while now. So if you would like to go check out their music, go to the patientzeros.bandcamp.com, and that is zeros, zeros .bandcamp.com. So
Hell yeah.
go check them out if you liked what you heard, and make sure to give them a like and follow as well. We appreciate all of our music guests. So, Chad, what should we do now? What do you want to do?
I want to get into my deep dive.
Let's do it. Get into that deep dive. Right now, after...
I hear this. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's do a shot at
Oh,
turn.
shit. And I also just realized I don't even remember what soundbite we were using for the deep dive.
It doesn't matter, just as long as it's NFL.
As long as
Use
it's
the
NFL.
go get the ball one earlier.
We did that one.
So
Now that's football?
Yeah.
All right. Cheers to you guys. This
Cheers.
is the shot at the turn, which means we've reached our halfway point, the point where we
damn
take
right.
a break. Even though it's really technically 2/3 of the way through the show, we're not going to mince
And we're
words
trying
here.
to get a little buzz. I hope you guys are too.
Cheers to you guys. Thank you as always.
Good old whiskey.
Whiskey.
Nectar of the gods.
Indeed. So,
All right.
Chad.
I think I went first last
What about-
time.
oh,
I think
shit.
you go first. After you hit that.
After I hit the old... No, that's football.
I'm gonna bury your family! I'm gonna bury your dog! Bury your dog! Check, check!
Dog!
Now that's football!
Damn right.
That is football. You like it? You like it?
I'm gonna bury your family.
I'm gonna eat your children. That's what Mike Tyson said. But
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my deep dive this week. I picked a game. We're trying to pick different teams, so we're not always talking about the same teams.
I know. That's why I switched mine up.
Yeah. So I ended up picking the 7-5 Indianapolis Colts versus the 4-8 Tennessee Titans. Indy ends up pulling out this game 31-28, as this was one of the barn burners of the weekend, if you will. Also, kind of shook up the old playoff race there in the middle for the AFC. So
really did.
The Colts end up winning their fourth straight and keep their playoff hopes alive as Gardner Minshew goes 26 of 42. 312 yards and 2 touchdowns. He does end up throwing a 4-yard touchdown to Michael Pittman Jr., who ended the day with 11 receptions, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown. That came with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in overtime, which sealed the deal for the Colts. They were left without a choice as Nick Folk kicked a 46-yard field goal with 4:19 left in overtime to put Tennessee up 28-25, which gave the Colts the opportunity to go and score a touchdown.
It was a close game.
Yeah, definitely. And the Colts defense did its fair share as well, sacking Will Levis 6 times, despite the fact they were outgained in total offense 381 to 355 yards.
That's
so
pretty close, though.
It is pretty close.
I wonder
but
how
still,
it would have turned out if Derrick Henry didn't get knocked out of this game.
Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second. Thank you for that little interlude, or a prelude, if you will. Tennessee held the ball for more than 38 minutes total, so a little bit over half of the game. The Colts offense, while they were saviors in the end, they did have 4 first and goal situations throughout regulation and had to settle for 3 of Matt Gay's 4 field goals on the day. And on the other opportunity, they ended up fumbling the ball away. So the Colts special teams, though, managed to score 10 points off of a blocked punt by Nick Cross. That Grant Stewart returned 18 yards for a touchdown. The Colts tried a 2-point conversion on that, and Minshew was picked off by Amani Hooker, who returned that for 2 points in the Titans' favor all the way to the other end zone.
What a wild game.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm sure you're going to get to it, but
the Will Levis play?
No, with D-Hop. Is that what you're talking to him?
No, but there was another crazy play. Yeah, we'll get to that too. But
we will probably never see 2 blocked punts back to back. Ever.
Yeah.
That blew me away. I was like, the special teams coordinator for Tennessee needs to get fired.
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together.
Yeah, well, and you just brought it up. Perfect timing. Stonehouse's next punt attempt was blocked, and it was forced fumble on a questionable play where Tony Brown flew into Stonehouse's plant leg and did look like he hyperextended it when he hit him. So there was no flag on that play, but there probably should have been, and ended up knocking Stonehouse out of the game and forcing backup QB Ryan Tannehill to fill in on the point after attempt.
Yep, and it did not go well.
No, ended up biting them in the ass. Folk ended up biting them in the ass as Folk missed his first PAT of the season with 5:25 left in regulation. Folk was also forced into punting duties for the remainder of the game as well, and he wound up with an average of 39 yards for the two punts that he ended up kicking that day, which was his first day's punting since he was in college at Arizona.
Oh, wow.
So it's been quite a while for Nick Folk.
He had a busy day.
Yeah, all of these things could be reasons as to why the Titans blew a 17-7 lead, not to mention the Colts' struggles in the red zone that I mentioned earlier, but Tennessee did have a few bright spots as Derrick Henry runs for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns, but a little bit of a dim spot came right after that. He does end up leaving, I think it's the
I thought it was concussion.
It was fourth quarter. But before he did, he tied Marshawn Lynch with his first rushing touchdown, and then tied Priest Holmes on his second touchdown early in the second quarter for fifth all time with 86 rushing touchdowns.
No shit,
yeah.
damn, old Priest
Holmes.
Damn. It's one of my favorite Chiefs.
Yeah, so like I said, unfortunately, and Chad brought up, he did leave in the fourth quarter to be evaluated for a concussion and did not return. Will Levis did have one of the craziest plays I've seen from a QB, and I don't know if you saw
I guess
this.
I didn't see this.
Okay, so he is hit as he throws. The ball flounders in the air for about 10, 15 yards. It is then intercepted. Once the ball is intercepted by cornerback Julian Blackman, Will Levis appears out of nowhere and hits him and strips the ball from him, recovers the fumble, stands up and is announcing first down, and the whistles never blew. So then he just takes off running for a touchdown, but it turns out he was down. But
oh, that's nuts.
Still, one of the craziest things to see,
play.
A quarterback throw the ball, and then it's just like going through the air. They cut to the guy intercepting it, and then Will Levis is just like, ah, like out of nowhere. You know,
just like replacement style.
He's like,
give me the football!
Give me the ball! Yeah, he goes, and guess what he does?
Dude,
he gets the ball.
That's got to be all the mayonnaise, man.
It's all that mayonnaise
is a
in the
smash
coffee.
mouth type guy. Because the clip that I really enjoyed, I need to go through and find that play, is seeing him give it to D-Hop. I guess D-Hop, maybe there was a miscommunication, and you see him arguing with a 10-year vet. A guy that is a legendary.
Getting in his face a little bit
he
about
did,
it.
man. And he's yelling at him, and you would think that you would see D-Hop kind of argue back, be like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Who do you think you're talking to? He just kept walking.
Yeah.
And Will Levis let him have it.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, so that was about like 8:30 or so left in the first quarter. DeAndre Hopkins did end up with 5 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown, but yeah, it was all due to miscommunication. D-Hop, I watched a video of him talking about it afterwards, and he's like, Will's, we appreciate all of his fire and stuff, but he did throw a little thing in there like he's a first-year player. So it's like he needs to learn his role, talking to me almost a little bit. But he's like, I thought he was doing something. He thought I was doing something. And
yeah,
it is what it is. So, But that's all I've got right there for my deep dive.
Dude, doesn't that make like 4 straight by the Colts?
Yeah, 4 straight.
And I think in the playoff hunt, they're the 5 seed, I think.
Yeah, and with Jacksonville, with what's up in the air with Lawrence, you could see a real big shift in the AFC South that just shakes up the entire AFC playoff picture in the middle, because a couple of these guaranteed games that the and this fucks the Broncos too, because you would think the Jaguars are going to beat these teams that are right there with you, like Houston and such. I think they're playing Houston this weekend or next weekend.
Who's that?
Jaguars.
Jaguars. I think so. I can't remember.
But either way, so you would think that they were going to beat Houston. Or it'd be a really close game, because I think it is in Jacksonville. But now, that's up in the air, and you could see some real movement, because now that AFC South, they're all right there now.
They are, and I'm trying to get it pulled up right here, because I think the Colts have somewhat of a soft schedule going forward. Come on, let's see.
Let me see here.
I thought I heard that, like, I know they have to play maybe the Jags again. Let's see. They get the Bengals, the Steelers, the Falcons, Raiders, and Texans.
And that Texans game at the end of the year could be huge.
And it's to be decided at the time, so they may bump that up to a primetime game. But, I mean, really, the Texans are they could go, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? They could go 4-1 out of all this, maybe losing only to the Texans.
Yeah.
And that's a Texans game that's at home, too.
So, yeah, a lot of people are, like, freaking out now, because the injury to Lawrence last night and them losing just shakes up everything.
We'll see how long it takes.
And Cincy moving up now.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, too. They were below the Broncos. Now and the Broncos are neck and neck. So we're going to see what happens.
Yep. I love it, man. Middle of the pack.
You got that's just like our fantasy league. There's going to be a little bit of a log jam. So, Chad, take us to your deep dive.
All right. Detroit Lions versus New Orleans. In New Orleans, the score finished out 33-28. The Lions took it, and to me, this is titled the Sam Laporta game. He went 9 for 140 and 1 tutty in this game. He just went scorched earth. And if people don't know, he's actually on pace to break the rookie tight end yardage record. I'm not sure who holds that record, but I think he only needs like another 250 yards or so.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, Detroit jumped out to an early lead, 21-0, after Derek Carr threw an interception on his first possession. And, Jared Goff just kept dicing up the Saints defense. Sam Laporta was uncoverable. Like I said, had 9 receptions for 140. And get this, when I checked the box score, dude, I couldn't. Did you see this? He had 9 receptions. Guess how many the next closest guy had? How many receptions?
I would believe it'd probably be Amon St. Ra. I'm going to say 5.
No. 2.
Shit. 2?
2 receptions. Laporta had 9, and then Amon Ra had 2 receptions, which sucked because I had him and I was playing against you. But and then everybody after that, there was like 5 receivers with 1 reception. So it was basically, like I said, a Sam Laporta game over and over again.
So rookie receiving yards for a tight end. Mike Ditka.
No shit.
1,076 yards in 1961.
And he probably did that in a 14-game season, huh?
He did.
Dude, what a legend. Fucking Mike
stud.
Ditka. Yep,
Dude's
soccer
a
coach
stud,
too, man.
Yeah,
so good
hell
at
of a
kicking and
soccer coach.
screaming. Yep. That's awesome. After jumping out to that early lead, they went. The Lions started going flat. They went 3 and out in their next 5 possessions, allowing the Saints to claw their way back. New Orleans got within 5 points, but Detroit just ground out 2 first downs to drain the clock with their real good running game. I mean, Gibbs and Montgomery, they just seem like, to me, the best 2-headed attack in the league. Try and think of another 2-headed running back that's just as good. I'll wait.
Right now, there isn't too many.
While you're thinking, yep. Detroit, let's see. And then with the game on the line, Jared Goff found Josh Reynolds on a 3rd and long for the game-sealing first down. But just before that 3rd down, there was a 3rd and 7 where he went to that tight end, Sam Laporta, who, I mean, if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, Laporta would be making a case for probably second in the running for
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, for offensive rookie
That's
of the
never
year.
happened for sure. Tight end.
Definitely never, but he's doing a damn good job. On the other side of the ball, Chris Olave helped the Saints get back in the game, but after a devastating hit, like we said, by a car, it seemed like Derek Carr had to exit the game with a concussion, shoulder, and neck injury, wasn't it? Everything back?
It was concussion, shoulder, and back.
Yeah.
Backy Adam.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole body.
Jameis Winston stepped in but couldn't really complete the comeback. He missing several passes. I think he needs to go back to the LASIK surgeon. Not looking too good. He missed some key passes there. Detroit's defense still has some questions. I mean, it looked like they were back on track when they had that 21-0 lead, and that was just early in the first quarter. And then the Saints started to claw back. Kamara had a big game. He had 2 TDs. Like I said, Olave had a decent game. But it is good to see Jared Goff get back on track after having 2 really bad games.
Yeah, and even with those 2 bad games, Lions still sitting at 9-3. So
9-3.
Yeah.
What are they? Probably the 2nd or 3rd seed in the? No, they'd be the 3rd probably.
Yeah, right now I don't know what they are.
Probably goes Eagles, 49ers, and Lions. I bet.
Let's see here, standings NFL. Probably right now. Yeah. Let's go,
dude. We said we were gonna call Greg at 7:30. Look at that.
Look at that, right
Dude,
on the money.
We know what we're doing.
Lions are in 3rd, so Eagles, Niners, Lions, Cowboys in the AFC, Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs, Jaguars.
Yep.
And
Crazy.
Pittsburgh behind them, which is nuts, dude. Just real quick, though.
Wild.
Well, I mean, the NFC is about the same, but like the AFC, Pittsburgh Steelers 7-5, Browns 7-5, Colts 7-5, Texans 7-5, Broncos 6-6, Bengals 6-6, Buffalo Bills 6-6. That's just a logjam of like literally 7 teams with the same record.
It's crazy, man. There's a lot more parity this year than we've ever seen.
Definitely.
Well, should we find out who we should bet on this week?
Yeah, let's get a little bit of steak and Eggers with Gregers. But first, I forgot to put his fucking number in, so let me dial him up here real quick. Sorry.
I thought it was it not saved? Or
No, because we called Alex first, and then I totally forgot to put Greg in there afterwards, even though I wrote myself a note. So it just goes to show you, even when you try to succeed, you can still fail in life.
It's all good. No worries.
I'll
give you guys a little bit of an update on the Bucks score. Looks like they're going to knock the Knicks out of the in-season tournament. They're up 112-96 right now. Yeah. Julius Randle's having one hell of a game, though. He's got 36 points.
Yeah, way to go, Julius Randle. Finally doing something for the Knicks, because everybody was like, why did they trade for him? And now he's their guy.
He's been so up and down this year. He's had games where he scores a lot, and then he drops down.
All right, well, let's get into it right now.
I ordered something. Steak and eggs, rare and scrambled.
2-second eggs coming up.
This is Greg.
This is Greg.
What's up, Greg?
What's up?
Dude, don't ever answer the phone like that again. I will hang up
Mr.
on you
Businessman.
right away. This is Greg.
Oh my gosh, it's 7:30 on the dial.
I told you.
Dude, Chad nailed it earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, 7:30 seems late, but Chad's right on the money. And much like him, so are you. As we get to Steak and Eggers with Mr. Gregers.
You know, the irony here is that I am cooking steaks right now as we speak.
Oh, my God.
What, ribeyes, New York strips? What do you got going on there?
No,
Wagyu?
a little bit leaner. I'm a tenderloin right now for me.
All right. Carnivore diet, probably.
You've always tendered my loins, sir.
And I will never stop tendering your loins, or at least
And
I hope
I
not.
appreciate that. Well, buddy, what are you thinking this week? We need to get your locks. We haven't talked in a little bit.
Yeah.
And you nailed them last time.
I need to make some money, man. I've been in a slump.
I feel you. We last time went well. I've been doing well since then.
Good.
So it sucks that I haven't been able to share them.
Just makes you look better.
So 2 weeks ago, I went for Mozart 2 TDs and went pretty hard on that, and that hit. That was plus 600.
Ooh.
So that really got us in the positive about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that refilled the coffers, so to speak.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. So, this week, here's what I'm feeling extremely confident on. And I'm taking both sides. I'm taking the Raiders money line, and I'm taking the Raiders with the points.
Who are the? Let's see. I should have the schedule pulled up. Who are the Raiders playing?
The Vikings.
Oh wow! You're taking the money line and you're taking the points.
Yep,
Is
taking
it
the money
in
line
Vegas?
and the points.
Is it in Vegas?
What's that? Yes.
Okay. All right. Aiden
In
O'Connell's been
Vegas,
playing
I
good.
think there's Jefferson's coming back. I don't think, if they play Dobbs, which apparently there's discussion that they might not, then, I don't think Dobbs has had enough time to really coordinate with Jefferson, so I don't see them connecting too much.
Who would
but
they
I could
play
be
instead?
wrong. There's some other, I can't remember who it was.
Hold on, give me 1 second, guys.
Someone I'd never heard of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Well,
saw news that he might not play, and I'm not sure why.
They're gonna see who gives Jefferson the best chance, whatever that means.
Whatever that means, yeah.
Yeah.
So I forget who it was.
Nick Mullins, Jaron Hall are the other two, and Jaron Hall was the one that came in originally and ended up getting hurt, and was the reason why Josh Dobbs ended up going into that game on like 3 days of being in Minnesota. So it looks like Nick Mullins will be the next one, who I think the last team he was on where he started was San Francisco, but I could be wrong.
He
on
went
that.
somewhere else.
Did he go somewhere after
It could
that?
be San Fran, but I thought he went somewhere else too.
So yeah.
But the Raiders are sitting at plus 138, so make a little buck off that. If they do pull it
and I'm
off.
taking the points just to be safe, just to kind of hedge it a little bit. I think it'll be close. I don't know. The Raiders, since losing McDaniels, they've been
decent.
playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been playing well, and I like what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm going with. Now, the other thing I'm on is, and I've been kind of running it back, is I've been taking the Cowboys total team points for the last 2 weeks, and I've even been juicing it up and taking alternative team points above 30. I think right now it's 20. 6.5 if my memory serves me right.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that being higher.
So I've been all over Dallas total points.
Yeah, their offense has been
one,
red hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that you just got to keep. You got to kind of keep running it back until it fails you. You know.
Yep. Hey, and that's a good point. I don't want to divert too much from the Dallas, but I wanted to ask you about the military game we got coming up here. The under has moved. When I put a bet on it last week, it was, let's see, 29.5. Now it's moved to 27.5 for Army at Navy. Are you still going with that under?
I mean, statistically, yes, you're supposed to, but
Hammer it.
I don't know about hammer. God, see, you sit here and you feel uncomfortable. Every single service academy game that I've bet it under, I have felt uncomfortable hitting submit. Like,
dude,
I feel gross
27
doing it.
and 28 points is nothing. That's 4 TDs.
Nothing. But historically, they are just low-scoring games. I don't know why. I mean, remember last time it was, what was it, 10-7 going into the second? That was Air Force and Navy, I believe. And then it was a scoreless second half.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's just one of those that you just, you got to just, it's hard to break away from something that constantly works. But look at primetime unders, right? We've had 2 primetime unders that have gone over.
That's why it's hard not to go with it. I've already put money on it, man. I want to keep going.
Chad's doubling down.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the Dallas total team points, is that I'm just going to keep hitting it until it doesn't hit. But so far, their offense has been great. So my opinion is, at 27.5, I don't think you go crazy, but yeah, you put them on the under, and you hope that the trend continues to work in your favor.
Nice.
Okay, so right now we're taking the Raiders. You say the money line and the points?
I'm on it both.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raiders are favored by 3.
Okay.
Or excuse me,
by 3,
under.
yep.
Yeah, under by 3.
So Raiders.
No, they're +3.
They're plus 3. Yeah. So Raiders money line and points, and then we are gonna maybe hit the under on the military game for sure, till they prove us wrong.
Okay.
And then we were just talking about
Cowboys total team points.
That's right. And the Cowboys have been just scoring in bunches and bunches.
And they're going against that horrible Eagles defense, so that seems to hit.
So that's where we're at.
Watch that 49ers game, huh?
Oh, I just said that's where we're at right now. Is there anything else you have for your locks of the week, Mr. Gregors?
No, that's pretty much what I'm most confident in right now.
I dig it, man.
Those are all solid bets, and you throw those into a parlay, and then what are you cooking with? That's where you get weird.
Tell you what, dude, the parlays have not been good to me.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's tough.
Always one like Christian Kirk, him going out on that first drive, every other 4 other legs hit for a plus 1,400.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's always the worst when it's the first one. Like, it's one thing if you're waiting on one and it doesn't hit, but when it's the first, the first quarter of a game and one leg of your parlay is done, and then the rest of them hit throughout the day, you're just like, this is fucking bullshit.
So stupid.
Yeah. But that's, that's betting,
That's
man.
gambling for you, man.
Yeah.
Now, did I go on X and immediately start? What do they call it? Do they call it a tweet? What do we call it these days?
We're calling it Xing.
Did I start hammering
Xing.
DraftKings support page saying you should void this out, as well as hundreds and thousands of other people? Yeah.
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 They should have
I think when a player gets hurt,
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. When I make bets and a player gets hurt, I'm like I should get refunded for this. This is bullshit.
Yeah. We're not betting on their body breaking down. We're betting on their production, damn it.
It's not the outcome we predicted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's bullshit. They should have. And I think if they play half a game, sure. All right. They had a good chance. But the first play their first play of the game? No.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, exactly.
Yeah,
There were so many
Aaron
futures
Rodgers.
bets that died within like the first 2 minutes of that Jets game.
Oh,
like
it
just
was
so many,
so
just
bad.
incidents. So many people's hearts just shattered along
Seasons.
with Aaron Rodgers' Achilles that is magnificently put back together somehow.
Miraculously, yep.
Yeah, watching him kind of like throwing the ball and stuff, you're just like, how is this happening?
Yeah, it's not real.
Ayahuasca, man. That's it.
Ayahuasca and the vibrations from dolphins mating. That's all it takes.
Gotta respect the Dolphins. You know?
Indeed, always respect the Dolphins. Well,
Hey,
man,
Greg, best of luck to you, too. I'm going up against you in fantasy this week, bro.
ooh.
I think I'm out of it, boy.
You don't know, because
no,
I'm
you're
falling
not.
out of fourth right now, and Minkus is moving up, so
Yeah, there's a chance that you could usurp and get that 4 seed.
possible.
No, because Minkus, look at the total points.
Oh, does he got you in
I
total
think he
points?
probably
I haven't
does.
done a
the
deep dive
only
into
thing that Minkus
that.
and I could do is we could tie for fourth, but he has more points
And then you have to Rochambeau.
than I do, so he would eventually he would get he would
Right.
make the playoff.
Yeah, well, at least you're avoiding the toilet bowl. That's good.
I am out of the toilet bowl, although it's sad that I won't have anything to do.
Just gamble, I guess. Just gamble.
Well, that's true.
Yep. Well, hell yeah, man.
I'll get some live bets. I'll get some live lines for the group on who's going to win our championship.
That's awesome, dude. Do that. Please do.
Yeah.
That would be fucking sweet. Yeah.
That's what we need.
Because
I'll
I
throw
hate
it-
being first
yeah,
place,
I'll
dude.
get that against
Anytime
each other.
I go into the playoffs as first place, that's almost a curse. Where
Yeah,
you're
you're waiting for the last seed to just beat you in the first round.
Yep.
Well, boys,
All right.
best of luck. May all your parlays hit. May all your bets be merry, and may you take it to the bank, baby.
Hell
Let's do
yeah.
it.
Cha-ching, buddy.
Let's take it all the way to the bank, baby. Gregory, we appreciate you
All right.
as always, man. I love you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you, man.
Stay safe and be good.
Love you guys. We'll recap it next week and see how we did.
Let's
Sounds
do it,
good,
man.
man.
Later, buddy.
See ya.
boys. Later.
Toodles. All right, that's it. That's Gregory.
All right, we know what to hit. Now I just need money to gamble with.
Yeah, now you just need a large lump sum of money to put onto those bets, and
That's
then
right.
you're rocking and or a rolling.
Chris, I need $10.
$10. You got $10, man. I need to put this parlay.
Chris,
in.
yeah,
You got
Greg
$10,
said
dog.
I need to make this bet.
You got $10, dog.
Yeah.
I need to put this parlay in right now.
All right, we got one last thing to do real quick.
One last thing to do. This one isn't going to be a very long one because we all witnessed it happen last night if you pay attention to sports. On that note, it is time for John Daly to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I
Hit it hard.
Hell yeah.
That's right. We've reached the end of the show. And if you have not yet, please go like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. And if you're watching or listening us right now, please like and subscribe to it. And make sure to rate us 5 stars, as always, because even if we suck, we look that good on camera and we sound that good in your ears.
Yeah,
so,
and make it interactive. We're about to
Yeah.
do our daily dose of excellence shot. If you guys don't have shots, take a hit of a pin, bong rip,
whatever
you want to do.
need to make you feel good, do it.
Enjoy some intoxicants.
Yes, because we all need something to get us through the days of mundane,
The dog days
working life
of winter.
Yes.
All right.
So we are sitting here. We decided last night after the epic Monday night game that we watched, because
That
a
was
lot
a
of these primetime
damn
games,
good
dude,
one.
have been snooze fests.
So
aside from last Thursday and this Monday night.
Yeah, this last week we got some good football, man.
Yeah, we did. And Jake Browning, man.
Jake Browning. the
We talked about him a little bit
California kid.
earlier, the California kid.
Yep.
You were saying he dominated in high school and college.
All right.
And he's dominating in the league now.
History of Jake Browning, if nobody's aware of him. He had to step in for Joe Burrow, so last night he got to start for the Bengals.
Joe Cool.
Yep, it is his second career start, and everybody expected him, along with me, to get blown out by the Jaguars.
Who didn't?
Yep. Well, he went to school in California, where he scored a perfect 4.0 GPA, smart kid, at Folsom High School. The very same Folsom where Johnny Cash wrote Folsom Prison Blues, where the prison's nearby.
Shot a man in Reno.
Just to watch him die. Well, he broke state and national records for career touchdown passes at 229 en route to a 4-star recruiting tour that brought him to the University of Washington. While playing for the Huskies, Browning studied at the Foster School of Business. Smart kid there. Well, he also made history at Washington. Not content to rest on his high school stardom, Browning etched his name into the collegiate record books early and often for Washington, becoming the first true freshman to ever start a season opener at QB for the Huskies. A year later, with 43 TDs in 14 games, he guided UW to its first conference title in 16 years. He finished his college career as the school's all-time passing leader.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and I believe he still holds it, even though Michael Penix, who's a Heisman candidate, didn't break that record.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. And last night, one of the reasons we want to give him this award, which will be in the mail soon, just be watching the UPS, sir, just went completely nuclear. 354 passing yards, 1 TD, a rating of 84.0, passer rating of 115.5, threw for 32 out of 37, man.
Yeah, and at one point, I think in the third quarter, he'd only had 4 passes dropped.
Yeah.
Not even.
He was just playing out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
I mean, we saw the game plan right out of the gate. It was get the ball to Jamar Chase. He's going to be the workload. Let's just get it to him. But it worked, and that's just it. It's like I'm watching this game, and not trying to turn this on me, but it's because of the woes that I'm going through. This guy's hitting Jamar Chase for a 76-yard bomb. Dude, fucking Mahomes can't make a deep ball pass to anybody on our team.
Got no receivers.
Yeah, no receivers.
But I think, but the big news is, though, they went back to the running game for one, which ended up killing me in our fantasy league.
Thank you, Joe Mixon.
But here we are looking at a Monday night game where Jake Browning's taking on Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence is, at the helm of the 8-4 Jacksonville Jaguars, taking on the lowly Cincinnati Bengals, sitting at 6-6 with just losing their, franchise quarterback for the year. Yeah. And we're all thinking this is going to be a blowout. Lo and behold, it isn't a blowout. And Trevor Lawrence still has a hell of a game, 22 of 29 for 258 yards and 2 touchdowns before he left the game late. And C.J. Beathard comes in, and these guys go into a duel at the end of the game that just turns into one of the better games we've seen on primetime in a while.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. It was just such back and forth. It was really going to end up like whoever had the ball last won, and that's exactly how it went. The Jaguars scored a field goal in overtime. Or no, I don't think they didn't score in overtime.
No, Jacksonville didn't score,
but they did score that field goal to force overtime, and then the Bengals got it back in overtime and marched down there and kicked a field goal. And they did rely on Mixon. It was smart, but what we saw was
Jamar Chase, 11 receptions, 149 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Huge game. It was awesome.
One of his catches did account for over half of that, but still. And that was that last one.
Helped me win my fantasy matchup. Thank you, Chase.
Both of them this week, you son of a bitch.
I draft some good players, man. But if anybody wonders what happened to Jake Browning after this great college career, he went undrafted. A lot of people thought he didn't have the athleticism, the size, and then you look at quarterbacks that went before him: Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, R.I.P.
Yeah, which is nuts.
I know. I said that out loud. Like, oh, shit.
That dude's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, well, he did beat out.
Also, one of the weirdest deaths we've had in a while that nobody's really talked about since. But nonetheless,
either way, he did beat out a veteran in Cincinnati too. After he got signed as an undrafted free agent to Vikings, and then I think this year he went to the Bengals, and he had to beat out Trevor Siemian, and that didn't seem like a hard job. And so, yeah, he took on the backup job and just played awesome last night. I mean, yeah, you got great wide receivers, but you got to get the ball there and to show up on prime time and be a division leader in the Jags. Hats off to Jake Browning.
Indeed. And he is this week's Daily Dose of Excellence.
Yes.
So
stamp approved.
You about spilled stuff. You got so excited with that stamp of approval for Jake Browning.
Damn right.
So we'll see what he can do. Like we were just talking about, man, the loss of Jacksonville and the winning by the Colts and the win by the Bengals. Now the AFC's all shook up.
Wide open, man.
Wide
Watch
open.
out for the Bengals and Browning.
Yeah, so
He'll make you brown your pants.
he'll do it, dude. I don't know what
Dad
that
jokes
means,
for days.
but it'll happen.
Yep.
So this one goes out to you, Mr. Jake Browning. Cheers
Well
to
done,
you
sir.
on your journey to the NFL, and way to, when the chips are down and everybody's betting against you, way to make them eat their words and swallow those losses. So
Damn right.
cheers to you. Much like you, we will continue to do everything we can here to get as many people as we can on this train.
Yep.
The Fringe Fanatics train.
If you guys know anybody out there that you think would be a good guest that really know their shit, hilarious like us, send them our way.
Yeah, we need them.
Yep.
We want to build a community.
That's right.
So that's what we're doing
The
here.
Fringe community.
The Fringe community. Thank you guys as always for
Thanks for
tuning
listening.
in. Cheers to each and every one of you. Cheers to you, Chadley.
Cheers to you, Christopher.
Cheers.
I got it out.
Yeah, I love
Here we
you,
go.
buddy.
Love you, buddy.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you tomorrow at work.
That's right. I will see you tomorrow at work.
All
right. Well, guys, on that note, we are getting out of here. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always. Tune in next week and make sure to share the shit out of this stuff. Because for every one of you that share it, there might be one that loves it, and that's who we're looking for.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you as always. Love you all.
Love you.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.